We've been in business for over 50 years now, and we started as a regional auction company to a nationwide firm to a global player in the auction industry. After World War II, the veterans would go to these army depots. I used to sell plumbing equipment, supplies, just anything I could get my hands on.
You know, if it was a train wreck and a load of lumber fell off a train, they'd buy the load of lumber from an insurance company.
My first auctions were selling plumbing fittings. Then I learned what the tools were, and that evolved into sheet metal equipment, and that evolved into machine shops, and it grew from there. My sister Mildred and our bookkeeper and I would get all these phone books and send out brochures until 11 o'clock at night, putting 5-cent stamps on them, and that's how we mailed them. That's how I got started. The first big sale that we had was a gold mining company called Natomas. It was a very famous company, old equipment and artifacts and a lot of history. As our business grew and we started getting into many other fields, we merged with my brothers Henry and Dave.
They did join forces in the early 70s and become Rabin brothers.
And start going nationally and became very successful. The first national sale was Railway Express Agency, which was the predecessor to Federal Express. We started the auction in New York and worked our way across the country. And as we became further west, the prices went up. We learned you can have the same goods, but they're different markets.
The way the auction business worked back in the prior generation was relationships with companies.
And over the years we've developed relationships with people that have lasted for years and years and years. So the relationships that Irving and Henry started 30 years ago, now the relationships are with the sons. Obviously if they last this long, you know, they trust us as we trust them.
Rabin Brothers is unique, but we do go all over the United States, into Canada, 13,500 we in, 14,000 we're in.
The auction was a walk-around auction.
When we started years ago, we actually would walk from number to number to number.
Imagine trying to bring a crowd of people to the very top, you know, the 4th or 5th floor of a building, and then slowly get all those people down selling equipment along the way. It could be done. It's difficult.
We used to have this thing that the auctioneers sat in, and somebody had to push it, and then somebody had to stand there with this stick pointing at what was for sale, and somebody had to yell, and somebody had to write.
There may have been a group of 200 people moving around all that stuff.
I had 32 and a half up here, now I need 35.
Irving Rabin started in the late 80s doing video sales before anybody else really did it.
We introduced the theater-style way of selling equipment at auction in the industrial industry.
Now every one of our sales is a theater-style sale.
Our first international sale was in the UK, selling the equipment from 5 different plants. And because it was so scattered, we decided to do it by catalog and video. It was the beginning, really, of the internet sales that we're conducting today. I think in 1990, we were appointed by the bankruptcy court to do Braniff Airlines. Irving said we were going to do one auction by video. There was an enormous storm the day of the auction, so everybody was just totally excited to be indoors.
We had an auction in France, videoed the stuff in England, and the customer who bought it was in Mexico. And it sold for a lot of money, and it sort of cemented us with the idea that you don't have to physically be at the site or physically touch the item.
Last call, this time is the last time. So.
The auction side has expanded technologically by leaps and bounds.
They are more efficient. As soon as they win an item, it says, you won, and they actually have a running count. That information gets into the system as it goes on.
We can sell a piece of equipment real time to anybody in the world.
We've got a lot of equipment people who attend our auctions virtually.
A lot of internet buyers are getting what they want, and a lot of what they want.
It's changed the dynamic of an auction. It's changed everything. We really try to present an auction more or less as a showcase.
Every appraisal is different, every auction is different. There's always something new.
We have more customers all over the world who are participating as if they were right next door.
And we try to not only just sell equipment, we try to take care of our customers.
When I started in the business, big corporations would not think of attending an auction. Now you have major companies attending auctions.
People understand what eBay is, and people understand what an auction is.
It's evolved from people having money-related problems and just had to get out immediately to an actual way of marketing your equipment.
And it does change the tenor of an auction. For instance, with a corporation like Nestle's. We have gone in for Nestle's on a number of occasions and sold their equipment out of existing factories. It wasn't because they were closing down the facility, it was because they were no longer manufacturing that particular product at that particular place anymore. This company is like I said, it's a big family. We all know each other.
The staff here is incredible. They get the job done.
We all work very well together.
We're just a big team, and it flows very well.
I've known the same people I've been working with for 20 years.
I wouldn't be here for 35 years if it wasn't a great place to work.
I have a lot of appreciation for this wonderful staff that works at Rabin Worldwide.